So here we are then back on circuit, and our MX2 riders come to the line. Our first race winner then, Tommy Searle. We had a shortened race in this one, and there is Bobby Bruce, who finished third. Gyan Doensen, he was the man that came home in second. Just a shout out to one of our sponsors, Dirty.com, who have provided all our Marshall's bibs for this season, Jeff, and they're a company out there that specialise in bookings for extreme sports and motocross tracks and all sorts of things. So they are a series partner of ours, so thank you very much for them for stepping up. And if you want to visit www.dirty.com, they will enable you to book all sorts of extreme sports across all of the UK.
Yeah, Ryan does a great job. Obviously also runs Moto 101, which is a great facility. So, yep, go and get behind the guys at Dirty. Just want to make, although we've now moved to an MX2, a public apology to Ryan Waggett. Ryan, my severe apologies. Calling you Hayden Stat throughout your winner's circle interview. We get a lot of names going through our head throughout the day, and it just kind of stuck in there. So apologies. Ryan Waggett, third overall today, and as far as we know, still championship leader. Anyway, let's get to MX2. Here we go.
Yeah, so here we go. Reverse grid. It's not reverse grid. So Billy Askew would have come to the line first as our fastest qualifier, as that's how it's sorted out for race 2. As we wait for the 15-second board to go up, everybody champing at the bit. Full gate of 40 riders, then 15-second board is up. Away they go, and he's going to get the break as they come up. It looks like it might be Oriol Oliver. No, it's the 479, Josh Vail. So Vail it is on the Phoenix Tools Fantic that takes the whole shot.
I'll tell you who else got a flyer.
The 51 of all.
Yeah, he did as well, but Rafe Broadley on that two-stroke Fantic, 723 Fantic, got an absolute ripper as well. He's somewhere in about the top 5 or 6. There he is, number 72 there. So local lad certainly knows.
Oh, everybody coming through then through this first section of the track, and we'll follow them up there. And it looks like Oliver has already taken the lead. He's swept past. Big carnage in the corner at the bottom there. That's the 32.
Callum Mitchell again.
That's Callum Mitchell.
Not getting a good day for him so far, and it's a bit of a yard sale down there.
Looks like Liam Garland's in there as well.
Yeah.
That's quite a few. The 199. That's Jaden Jones. Everybody underway. Who's it that started that? I'm not quite sure. There's our race leader then. It is. It looks like it was the Spaniard, Oriol Oliver, that came now. He was all over the place in the first race and went down 3 times in the corner behind the finish by all accounts, and ended up a very, very distant 17th. But he will have started a lot further up because his lap times were good. But it looks like it was Billy Askew that was the man giving chase. He looks like he's put himself into second. There's Vail in third. Then it's Tommy Searle. Then it looks like it's the 163 AC United Gas of Ben Mustoe. But Oriol Oliver, the man brought in to replace Maxi Werner, who was injured in our first round at Hawkston Park, as Tommy tries to run it down the outside of Ben Mustoe. And Mustoe's going to find his way past Vail as they go up the bell step up. No, he's not. The youngster then, first season on a 250 for Josh Vail. He moved up from 125 last year, Jeff.
Yeah, and it's a good thing. He didn't quite get started how he wanted to in his obviously pro MX2 career. I think he picked up an injury at the Hawkstone International, Josh Vail, but he's coming back to speed.
He's doing everything he can. Tommy Searle trying to caught the inside. Vail has a bit of a look and gives the place then to the number 100. But Oriol Oliver then on the SS24 Gabriel KTM. The man running in MX2 in GPs. There's Bobby Bruce. He was across the line. It's quite a long way down. There's Colmer, there's Nicholls, there's Bruce. There, Bruce is in. Oh, lovely line up the bank there, Jeff. That was he rode the edge of the circuit there, right on the right-hand side. The number 60 of Brad Anderson's in there as well.
Yeah, Ando in the mix on that. What model's that YZ he's on?
Oh, it's a 95 through 2022. They're all the same.
Yeah.
But there's Oliver then, our race leader. And then it is a really, really good start to the second moto for Billy Askew. Let's not forget, he was the man who went to the gate first with the fastest lap from Moto 1, and they have already started to gap out now. Ben Mustoe and Tommy Searle. Looks like Vail has gone back a few more places. Well, we saw Tommy put the pass as they went past pit lane. But here is our race leader then, the Spaniard Oriol Oliver, the man who raced in Spain yesterday and flew in last night to this track, which is quite nicely situated, not very far at all from Gatwick and Heathrow Airport, so an easy job for him.
I like the way he rides. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Tom Vial, like his upper body.
He is a very body Englishy kind of rider, isn't he? And I get exactly what you mean. Is that something that the RFME kind of try and instill, the KTM team trying to instill into their riders to be like that? There's obviously Vial and maybe Adamo a little bit as well, just seems to be as a brick or two coming through the wall.
Yeah, we're getting pebble dashed here.
Yeah. This is a bounce back then for Oriol Oliver after a nightmare in race one that saw him on the floor with Jake Nicholls, and also ended up on the floor after contact with Ben Mustoe. So Tommy then, he's there in fourth, but here's our race leader. 3.8 seconds the gap at the front. But Askew having a great ride again. A good second moto for the second round running, Jeff.
Yeah, it is looking good for him out there in particular. Tommy Searle, I'm just looking at that, fourth. Ooh, this is borderline for getting the overall done. I was just thinking, so what did Askew have in the first one?
Billy, that's a good question. Billy came home fourth, I think.
Yeah, so, yeah, there you go. Oriol obviously didn't have the greatest opening moto, really, but, you know, it's coming in off the back of racing in the Spanish Championship yesterday. I don't think he's ever been to Canada Heights before, not by my recollection anyway. So he's really having to learn on the spot regard to the track. Searle, has he made a move past Mustoe? It looked like he might have done. Is that Mustoe behind him? Yeah, so ignore the K-Tech timing column. That shows Mustoe for third, but Tommy's now made the move.
That came over the line, wasn't it?
Yeah, so Searle now up to third, and that will probably give him the overall win. A 1-3.
He'll be happy with that, won't he?
Still work to do, of course. He's now got to chase down his young upstart teammate, which, of course, brilliant banter between those two. Tommy, as the wily old veteran, taking Billy under his wing a little bit, but they've still got the banter between them. Where possible, Tommy would love to stick one over on his teammate Billy Askew. Yeah, Gyan Doensen as well. They've got the second in the opening moto.
He's 16th, Jeff. He's down in 16.
He's pretty much out of the equation for the overall. Bobby Bruce on the bike at DRT Kawasaki. He's currently now moved his way up to fifth. It says on the timing board there, B Way. That's because Bobby's middle name is Wayne, Bobby Wayne Bruce, but they put him up as not his surname there. So that's actually Bobby Bruce in fifth. Yeah. Not a Mr. B Way.
Yeah, that's why I struggled to see him on the opening lap, because I'm not looking for. That's not what I'm looking for.
We need to amend that for future races.
So Tommy with a 3-1 at the moment, and then Doensen nowhere, so he's not going to feature on the podium. Neither is Oliver, and I'm pretty sure that Billy Askew is there with a 4-2 at the moment, and it's going to be a 3-5 for Bobby Bruce. So I think that will put Askew on the podium.
Yeah,
again.
Quite possibly. Yep.
But there's still a long way to go in this one as the riders are battling further down the field. The 592 of Freddie Bartlett going up the hill, but coming down the hill. There's Mustoe, and is he holding the gap with Tommy? Is he just?
Yeah, about the same. Bobby Bruce is now getting a march on.
Yeah, there's Mustoe on the AC United Gas, a rider I've been very impressed with. I think he's a Gloucestershire boy from Cheltenham, and he's definitely what I call he's a bruiser of a rider. He looks aggressive on the bike all the time, but really wrings everything he can out of that bike. There's Jake Nicholls. Let's give him a shout out as well, because the number 45, he was on the floor in the first race in the first turn, and he's managed to put a pass on Ollie Colmer, so he's found his way past the Chambers KTM man, and the Honda True 7 250 rider, the veteran. He's there inside the top six now and closing in on Bobby Bruce.
Yeah, it looks like exactly that. He's closing in and he's sort of going with him and he's pushing him along. Jake has obviously his own, not obviously, just to highlight, he's got his own practice facility at his home. arguably one of the best tracks in Europe, really. But it's very similar dirt to here at Canada, so he will feel completely at home here.
Yeah, obviously his family heavily involved in the sport. The True 7 group have sponsored lots of races and teams and that over the years. And Jake, very much in the twilight of his career, but no longer a professional rider, but as you said, a businessman in his own right, helping to run the family business and riding for the enjoyment of it. And I wasn't sure how I felt about the likes of Tommy and Jake being in this championship at the beginning, or certainly last year. But what it does, it gives you an established level, because we know how good these guys are, and we can see what they can do. And when you see the youngsters coming through, giving Tommy a run for his money and giving Jake, Jake's now kind of like a 5-ish, 5th, 7th, 8th kind of place guy in this. It gives credibility to the youngsters coming through.
I think we're a nice blend, a nice mix of young and older experienced riders.
That was a lovely move there by Nicholls. Just popped it off that over that step down. Bruce is going to have to get a bit of a move on if he doesn't want to have that Honda demoting him another place. Bruce needs to pass Mustoe. He needs the points.
Yeah, definitely applying pressure to Ben now on that Acer gas. But I said, Ben is a young man full of grit and determination. Kind of clocked that early on in his career. He's a real trooper. He just keeps grinding out the laps. I've said it before, I'm going to say it again. Reminded me very much of a young Todd Kellett. And Todd obviously gone on to be world beach cross champion and the 2K winner. And you've got to have some grit and determination to win those kind of races. And I think Ben's kind of cut from the same cloth, really.
Yes. And I don't think it's unkind to say of Todd Kellett, he wasn't cream of the crop coming through his age group in racing, but he's ground out a pro career that it just comes from hard work.
Literally like a machine. I'd say I've seen him just churn out laps at the practice track. You're like, surely he's going to come in a minute.
Yeah. So Bobby Bruce then on the back of Mustoe, Nicholls in the background. As the K-Tech tower will tell you, Oriol Oliver now almost 10 seconds away at the front of this one. There's another nice line from Bobby up the other side of the track this time. So he's at 9 seconds to the good on Billy Askew on the number 441 Dirt Store Triumph, who leads his teammate by another 3.5 seconds, and then it's 3.5 seconds back to this battle here between the AC United Gas of Ben Mustoe and the DRT Kawasaki of Bobby Bruce. Nicholls on the True 7 Honda, still close enough to pick up the pieces should there be any, Jeff.
Absolutely. I think Bobby's, he can't be overly patient. He's got to, if he's going to get a roll on and like I say, try and pick up those championship points and better his overall position, he can't stay behind Ben Mustoe for too long. Oh, good save.
He nearly went down in instalments there, Jeff. That was a proper moment. But again, just trying something different, opening the track up a little bit. The hat tip as well to Josh Vail, still there in 7th on that Phoenix Tools Fantic. That's a good ride from him, just in front of the 422 of Charlie Heyman on the SC Sport Homes Husky, with Colmer in 9th on the Chambers KTM, and Brad Anderson on the Steve Clitheroe Yamaha.
So awesome. See Ando out there on a 2-stroke, 40 years plus, doing his thing. Right, let's have a look at this. So Bobby just starts to tuck the front end, just comes out of the rut there, and I'll tell you, that is a good save.
Yeah, I'm going to say that was perfect control, but he will probably say he knew nothing about that. But he just happened, the front gripped and pulled itself back into the rut, and that saved him. He was so close to being off that, and he's still coming under pressure because Jake Nicholls has not let go. The number 45, there he is.
Jake would be loving this. That's why he's still at it. He doesn't need to do this. We all know it. I said he's a full-time businessman now, and he rides for fun. But he loves the challenge. That's been Jake's career all over. The amount of adversity that man has been through with injuries and stuff, and he's still coming out.
I mean, I think, did he finish 4th in the world one year in 250? I think he was.
I certainly remember the year, obviously, he was on track to win the MX1 British title. just such cruel luck and fate stopped that happening for him. He picked up, obviously, a leg injury at just a club event, and that put pay to that. But literally stepping out from behind the desk, putting his race kit on and coming out racing. Brilliant effort.
Yeah, on the outside of it, you know, there's a lot. It doesn't look like hard work being Jake Nicholls with all the stuff that he's got, but all of that has come from graft.
Yeah.
And those boys up there, it'll be his home track at Blacksall. Is that our next round? It is, isn't it?
He'll be looking forward to that.
He'll be looking forward to that in the same way that Tommy Searle and Bobby Bruce are having a home event here. That'll be his home track. So Bruce then on the Kawasaki. He said he was riding his way into the race, Jeff, in the interview in the first one, which was obviously curtailed after 13 minutes as we look at the drone shot from above. That's down the bottom end of the circuit. That looks like the battle for... that looks like that might be Stevie Clark. But here is Nicholls. And Nicholls has made the pass on Bruce. We went to the drone shot. I was looking at the wrong bit of the track. So Jake Nicholls then moves Bobby Bruce aside.
Just looking at other battles on the track, Heyman, Colmer and Vail are starting to sort of all Constantine up together. That's looking like that's become an interesting battle, so maybe we'll come back to that in a while.
This one's still good for me, Jeff.
Yeah.
Like I say, if Jake can carry the speed, he's going to be on the back of Ben Mustoe, closing in on the Ace of Gas. Although, having said that, the gap is, it looks like it's about a second and a half as they came through the wooded section there at the top end of the circuit. I've seen, like I say, the fans in the campsite there. I mean, a lot of people here this weekend. And I say, so many people out of sight in the trees watching this. But there's Mustoe on the gas. Pops down that lovely step down. And Nicholls then. And like I say, this is the time of old where maybe Bobby Bruce had tried too hard. He just, how are we doing for time in this one?
We have 15:40 elapsed, so we still got about 9:20 plus 2 laps to go. Obviously, we're hoping we had, if you missed the race earlier on, that was red flag, but we did just go past the halfway point, so the result stood. It was a race victory for Tommy Searle. Just want to highlight Stephen Clark making a return to British Motocross. He's currently in 13th position.
He was on the floor early doors in the first one, and but he was at Hawkston and did okay. He was actually battling with Brad Anderson earlier on in the race. Ando now looks like he's past Glenn McCormick. Doensen now up to 10th, so he's going to suddenly start featuring in the top 6 overall. But I didn't see whether it was a fall or just a bad start for the Dutchman. But the second of the SS24 Gabriel KTM riders then. He was the team leader, but obviously I think it's fair to say now that with Oriol Oliver stepping in for Max Werner, which through injury, and I have no idea if and when Max will be back and on the bike. Oh, that was a...
I guess they run. Well, if that is the case, I guess they run all 3 because, you know, Oriol's agreed to sign up for the entire...
I don't think it's a case of when Max comes back that Oriol's done, because that was definitely not the case. We've seen the kind of the comms that said that Oliver is in for the season. We've got yellow flag at the top of the hill.
That's Mira. Which Mira is it though?
That's the 71.
So that's Jack Mira.
Yes.
We got a couple of them lads out. Caleb, I think, made it in through the LCQ.
He's managed to get going. It just looks like he's got caught out on the braking moves. So that was the 422 of Charlie Heyman we just saw disappearing there. Like I say, he is now in 7th behind Bobby Bruce, who was dropped back to 6th. And there's Mustoe and Nicholls right on the back of him as they come round the layout loop. Oh, Mustoe clips the bail on the inside.
That's a tough corner. You've got to be so patient. Because, like I said, if you just lean in too much, you've got to almost go around there upright.
It's there. The temptation to try too hard. Nice line there by Mustoe. Triple, double. And then starting to get some knuckles on the top. But here comes Jake then. Right to the middling line round there. Doesn't bury the bike. Keeps the momentum going.
He'll be loving it. I said it earlier on, but he really will be loving this challenge. He'll be grinning under that crash helmet. I'll be looking forward to seeing his vlog if he keeps rolling in this one. Remember, you can follow Jake on YouTube, as you can a lot of riders these days. And don't forget to like and subscribe to Dirt Store TV. More of you that do that, the more chance we've got of getting people invested in the British motocross.
Yeah.
It's a simple thing. Go on it now. Click it now.
Yeah, MXGB-TV on YouTube. You're obviously on there at the minute watching it as we... Oh, Jake just trying to get down the inside. Mustoe will know he's there. Trying to see where Ben finished in the first one.
Meanwhile, Oriol Oliver is just on a march here. He's got the gap out to nearly 17 seconds. Askew is holding out just shy of just over a 2.5 second lead over his teammate Tommy Searle. Tommy's got a nice buffer here to work with.
He's not going to be pushing too hard, is he?
No, he's not. He'll have the bigger picture for the overall. He doesn't need to overtake his teammate. We don't think by our maths to win the overall. So
stationary yellow still in that corner, so maybe Mira not able to get that bike going, and he's just off to the inside of the circuit. Bobby Bruce is coming back at these guys. There he is, look.
Well, he is, isn't he? Come from seemingly nowhere. He's had a complete regroup, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Settled down a bit. Maybe had arm part. I don't know. But
let's have a look and see.
Here comes Nicholls making a move.
Oh, what a pass.
Yeah, diving it down that inside. Hard on the brakes. Holding his line. Yeah, Bobby's suddenly got a real march on now.
It'll be interesting to see who's got the fastest lap of the race, Jeff, for the Phoenix Tools fastest lap.
Well, look at this. Ben Mustoe is the young puppy meat in an old duffer's sack. Well, no, because Bobby's quite young. I shouldn't say that.
Still,
Feels like Bobby's been around for ages, though. That's the trouble.
Yeah. But the pressure of expectation, because he has been around for so long.
Yeah.
And in this part of the world, very similar to Tommy Searle, who was a guy that suddenly on an 85 popped to prominence, and now he has the kind of the pressure of being the next man in the queue kind of thing. But he's now back on the back of Ben Mustoe. He's going to try and get up the inside. Not quite enough room. But with Nicholls then coming across the line and moving up to fourth, I've got a feeling this is going to be Jake's certainly one of his best performances of late. Obviously, we've seen him win these rounds numerous times, but in his what we'll call his refound tour, certainly as good as we've seen him ride.
What I will say at this stage of the race, and we're only in like the fourth motor of the year, but I have to say, this MX2 class is shaping up. If we get these kind of topsy-turvy results all year,
yeah,
brilliant.
It's the pass down the inside, Jeff. Just made the pass, just levelled him on the brakes, and just dropped it down the inside. No need for contact. Mustoe knew he was there, didn't fight it. So now he's got to try and fend off the 73 of Bobby Bruce. Like I say, this will only move Bruce up to fifth, which means that he will not be on the podium as it stands at the moment.
Yeah, Jake is. He looks really nice and smooth and on the case with it all. You can see. Again, he's had another rider that's had lots like injuries down the ears, but obviously still kept himself in charge. Oh, Bobby, talk about.
So he's
patience wore thin there. He was. Where is Mustoe?
Mustoe's gone down.
I'm not sure if he's going to stall. I think he might have made him stall it.
He might have stalled it. I still think that Mustoe has got enough on Charlie Hayman for it not to be an issue. But we saw that that's the pass that Jake Nicholls made a lap before, and all of a sudden they've both blown by him.
Yeah, Bobby just felt clearly he's like, look, I can't sit behind. I've got to roll the dice here. I'm running out of time. And he ran it in the hot. Here we go. Look at that. Same as Jake Nicholls' move. Ben tries to protect his line. Yeah, look, just tags his front wheel.
Yeah.
Ben then goes over the top of the rut, and then I don't think he crashed, but I think he just maybe hit a force neutral, stalled it, and of course he's got the electric start on that gas, so he'll be straight back up. I don't think he would have lost. No, he's crossing the line. Let's see, he should be over the line. I don't think Mustoe lost a position. No, he's safely over the line, so he's still in sixth.
Askew and Searle then gaps down to a second then to try and find that battle.
Wow, look at that.
Bruce is chasing down Nicholls. It's too many things to watch.
Yeah. Fair play to Tommy Searle again.
They've got 11 seconds of gap.
There it is there.
There they are. So there we go through.
By.
So there's Searle. And there's Askew just in front of him. So this is the battle then for second in the race. And whilst it won't affect the overall, because that's going to Tommy Searle anyway. Is he going to want to try and find his way past Billy Askew?
Well, I'm just going to try and see if that's a case of Tommy gaining on him over the last few laps, or if Billy made a mistake. No, I don't think Billy made much of a mistake. I think that is just Tommy just grinding him down.
Yeah. So nice line through, round past the tree then for the 441 Dirt Store Triumph. But Tommy all over the back of him. And of course these guys are racing for a championship, so Tommy's not going to hold his hand. There'll be a time in the end of the season where Askew's a bit faster and Tommy's a bit slower.
Yeah.
And you can't give this stuff up. And we're going to see Tommy dig out a wily old fox pass. Drops to the inside.
Be good for Tommy's vlog as well. Some good banter, I should imagine. If he does make the move on Billy.
Nice over there for Askew. Now pops up that belt, step up, and then he's going to close the inside line off. This is where Searle is going to try and square off down the inside here and get a run down into this Prox turn at the bottom.
I have to
not
say,
close enough.
But he is riding a lot more shorter lines. Billy's taking a lot of wide lines. Tommy's taking the shorter route round the track.
There we go.
Maybe rougher, but that's what's pulled him up to the rear of his teammate.
These guys 10 seconds now in front of Jake Nicholls and Bobby Bruce. Oriol Oliver, no apologies for... we'll see him over the line, but he's 20 seconds to the good of this field at the moment. But this is the battle that on track between the two Dirt Store Triumph teammates. On MXGB-TV, brought to you by Dirt Store. Nice lines for both of them. There's a stationary yellow there, so we've got another rider maybe at the side of the track just there.
Somewhere down in this corner, isn't it?
Yeah.
I can't really see. Hopefully they're off the racing line.
Yeah, they're behind that digger, I think. So here's Tommy up the inside. And he moves. He moves the youngster over.
I'm laughing because he could have held. He didn't have to do that. Listen, that wasn't naughty or anything like that. But it was just like, I'll just make sure you don't come back at me here and take you out to the far edge. But Billy knew what was coming there. Yields, and this is looking good for Searle. He'll be happy. Obviously, Oliver is gone. Nearly 20 seconds up the track, but Tommy is very much in the driving seat for the overall with a 1-2 scorecard as it stands. The race leader just missed Oriol Oliver, just missed the 2 lap to go board there. It's actually 2 laps now, so he has crossed the line. 2 to go. I'm going to start making my way down there.
Okay, Jeff, you get down there for the podium interviews and I'll bring these boys out. Oh, big foot off whip for Tommy Searle there. That was absolute style. Laid it flat over that tabletop. I've not seen anybody do that all day. So he's obviously feeling the love. So this will give Tommy Searle the overall if he can bring it home. And by my rudimentary mathematics, I think that Billy Askew is going to finish second. Bobby Bruce third, just for the simple reason that the two guys that were running at the front, or Doensen was still buried back in 8th, although he hasn't. He's just past Charlie Heyman for 7th, so that's a 1-7. Askew goes down over the into the downhill. There's waiting for our race. There he is, the race leader, Oriol Oliver, then on the SS24 Gabriel KTM, the man drafted into this squad when his MXGP ride went away. And obviously, I think with Sean's team being the KTM Factory Junior team, the place was made available to Oriol Oliver to carry on with his World Championship aspirations. And with Maxi Werner out injured for a length of time that we're not quite sure of. But Oliver then picks his way through. That's the 410 of James Barker. Barker getting almost coming back at Oliver, looks across at him. Oliver did not get across that tabletop cleanly. Tommy Searle's put 3 seconds into one lap board then. So, finisher trying to get across to put the board out. But well into the tail end of the top 20 now is Oriol Oliver. Just having a look and seeing where Barker is. Barker's 23rd, so he's not into the point scorers yet, but he is going to make his way into those on this final lap. So Oliver from Searle, from Askew. Then it's Nicholls in 4th, Bobby Bruce 5th, Mustoe 6th, Doensen 7th. A good ride from Charlie Heyman in 8th, Brad Anderson 9th. Stevie Clark has found his way past Josh Vail and Ollie Colmer to get into 10th. Vail 11th, Colmer 12th, McCormack 13th. Tyler Hooley, a good ride in 14th for him after crashing in race 1. And 15th is the 72 Fantic of Rafe Broadley. Like I say, Oliver didn't see this track until this morning. Flew in from Spain after winning in Spain yesterday. And a good weekend's work for the young Spaniard. And I think he's not sure if he's aged out of MX2 this year. But finding a nice home for himself in the British Championship paddock, and slated to carry on and ride the rest of the round. So if he can continue to do this across the rest of the year and plug away at the points gap, with him already being at a deficit of about 44 points to our championship leader Bobby Bruce. If you follow us on our Instagram channels and all of our other social media, you'll get all the full updates of all of the championship positions. Also the Jude Morris under 21 as our leader takes the checkered flag. Then I think Billy Askew will be our under 21 victor for the day. So if that is the case, thinking that he's also going to be on the podium for the day, which will be the second time in as many rounds for the youngster finding his feet in this 250 class. There's Tommy, comes across the line. We've got a bit of a battle here. Is this Doensen? This is the Doensen battle. Looks like he's got himself onto the back of Mustoe and Charlie Heyman. Nicholls across the line in 4th. There's Bobby Bruce in 5th. So that's going to keep him off the podium by my mathematics. Mustoe 6th. Heyman 7th, and Doensen across the line in 8th. And then it should be Stevie Clark on the 5.11 getting the better of Brad Anderson. So a great result for Stevie Clark. And there comes Ando. That is your top 10. We will take a quick ad break and we will join Jeff down in the winner's circle.
This is Dirt Store, your online one-stop shop for off-road essentials. All the latest products from the top motorsports brands. Gear, bike parts, protection and accessories. Whether it's an upgrade for you or your bike, Dirt Store has it all.
Right, we're in the winner's circle. MX2 Moto 2 winner Oriol Oliver. First time racing British Championship. What a weekend. You raced a Spanish Championship, flew here, never been here before in your life, got used to the track. First race didn't kind of go your way, but you proved your worth, potential in this championship in that second moto. Talk us through it.
Yeah, at the end we could save some points in the second moto. really happy to come here and compete in the British. Never did it before. Only in Motul I came here for racing. So yeah, it's good track. Really like it. And yeah, first moto carnage in the first laps was a shame because yeah, was not my mistake at all. Some riders were crossing. It's racing incidents. So yeah, second moto I wanted that revenge, and we did. We did a good start finally, and yeah, managed first all the laps, and really happy with the suspension in the moto. And yeah, that's for the team also. Really happy to be with them, with Sean Simpson and Simon, with all the crew. So really happy to be with them, and yeah, at the end we win the last moto, so happy.
It's been a crazy couple of weeks, month really for you, isn't it? I mean, like here you are, all of a sudden you're racing the British Championship. Do you know much about the British Championship and history? Because obviously, you know, we have some strong riders over here. Do you think that's also going to be a good thing for you with preparation for obviously MXGPs and the Grand Prix?
Yeah, I think if we make the starts good, for sure. If we make it bad, then there is a lot of risks. But yeah, for sure, really good training. I like these tracks. I mean, It gets bumpy, it gets like in the GPS track. So for sure will be a good training. And also try to be calm because we have race weeks every weekend, a lot. So, but yeah, it's a new goal for me to be here and try to get more in the championship, get more in the fight at the end of the championship. That's the goal.
Well, that's good. You signed up for the series, so it's great to have you with us for the British. Well done. There you go. Move on out, Oriol. We're taking the race win for the Gabriel SS24 team. Great stuff. We'll no doubt see him again. Move on out. We're going to bring Tommy in if you can. Tommy? Oh, he's right in the middle of a vlog. I don't know if you can see this. Look, this is where TV, like live TV, we come second to his vlog. Come on in, Tom. That'll do us. The old boy still got it when he, you know, hometown track. This farewell tour, it's not really a farewell tour. You're going to keep riding, aren't you?
I don't know.
Come on.
Honestly, I've had a rough couple of weeks leading up to this. I haven't felt very good at all. So how I've managed to pull it out the back. I surprise myself sometimes. But I really enjoyed that out there. I was following little Bill. And I still had to show him that I'm the boss. He needs to still listen a little bit. But he was riding well. And then I knew I had the overall regardless whether I passed Little Bill, but I wanted to overtake him. Had some really good lines. I was really, really enjoying it. Did get a bit tired, but I was like, come on, let's get a win in the bag. So it was nice. Obviously, Oriol was out front. He had, I think he whole shot had a clean race. I think he was obviously a little bit faster than us all. But I'm well happy. So home race, Alfie's here with me watching. I come down. Or he come down with me, so to take a trophy home with him, he's at that age now and he sort of understands. So this win means a lot just because he's here.
Looking forward to seeing the vlog on Monday, mate. Don't forget you got to edit that when you get home.
Yeah, I'll be busy Monday, 6 o'clock. Well, not even, about 24 hours from now. So look out for it. Give it a like, subscribe, makes a big difference. I put a big effort into that.
You did indeed. There you go, your race winner here at round 2 at Cannon Heights in the MX2. Tommy Searle. Move on out, Tom. Let's get Billy in. Obviously for the Dirt Store Triumph team, they're going second and third in this one. Come on in, Billy. Rocking the gangster. He's got the chain on. He's got it all in. Now listen, I'm going to cut straight to the chase on this one. When it comes to the VOG, he's got ammo on you on that one. He picked you off on the last few laps of that one.
Yeah, he's good. He says he's got a little reserve tank, which is his dad bod, but yeah, definitely come into play then. But no, it's a good race. It was nice for him to ride behind me and see what he can tell me to do and coach me a bit more, really.
Yeah, that whole thing. Talk us through your day then. First moto, just because we didn't see you up here in the first moto. Talk us through that one.
Yeah, first moto. I was struggling with the start in the first moto, and I got off to a top 10 start, and then I just made a few good moves and got into fourth, and then the race got cut shortly, which was a bit of a shame because I was putting in good lap times, and I felt really strong through that first race.
But this must be, again, you're looking at the EMX coming up. This is a nice little feeder into next week.
Yeah, it's nice coming back here. It's a bit more chilled out. I can sort of relax and enjoy it with all the team. So I do enjoy being here, and yeah.
Look on point, mate. I've got to say the kit looks nice.
Yeah, it's nice. So O'Neill's hooked us up with 2 really nice smart kits for this weekend. So looked good, and yeah.
Good stuff. Well done. Billy Askew there coming third in that one. We're going to see him obviously next round. Looking forward to that. Well done, Bill. So he's going to go back. Loads of banter, obviously, between the Dirt Store Triumph team. There always will be between those two. Mentor, apprentice and mentor and all that kind of stuff. We're going to go to some quick adverts.
Fly dope swaggy, that's how I roll. On another level, on another level, on another level above me.